Excellent. Hi, Billy and Nick. Just recently discovered your podcast after becoming a mum to a beautiful baby girl, and have been loving it. Your soothing voices are helping me stay awake during the night feeds and to stay calm when things chaotic. I thought you were going to say helps everyone get to sleep. I'm like, what?
We have had that.
We've had that. My other job aside from parenthood is a paramedic, and your recent episode gave me an interesting perspective when thinking about connecting with patients. I always try to connect with my patient no matter what their presentation, but sometimes this can be difficult if they are in a heightened or hostile state. In these situations, sometimes I've had to resort to informing the patient that due to them being sectioned under the Mental Health Act, I require to transport them to a hospital against their will, and this generally doesn't go over very well. Your discussion about approaching someone from a logical instead of emotional place reminded me of these scenarios. I was wondering if you could give some more tips for connecting with someone when they are extremely heightened, agitated or hostile. Sometimes I don't know where to start to find that common ground and connect with them. Thanks for your amazing work and great theme music and that always gets stuck in my head.
What do you think? Have you got anything for that?
Really heightened. God, I'm putting myself in the paramedic's shoes. No, gee, that's... sounds like they always try and connect. What if they're really heightened? I don't know.
How do you connect to someone emotionally?
If my kid, so let's say, not paramedic, but my kid's like hugely dysregulated, I just do the classic get down on their level.
Beautiful.
Because they're shorter, they're smaller than me. And just like, if they're open to it, like get my hands on them.
Yeah.
To give them a hug.
Yeah.
They might be like, don't touch me. Typically not actually. And then, just start there and just listen first.
Beautiful.
And just like try not to give any advice or fix it.
Yeah, beautiful. Great.
Yeah. I say here in the calm situation of a podcast, in the early hours of the morning, like in the moment, I'd find it really hard to do all those things. But if I had my brain switched on.
Yeah, so a really good step is don't try and fix it. That's your logical brain.
Yeah. And
your emotional brain needs to just connect and understand and validate. So like practically what that looks like for me, and I think about more so my time in childcare with like really, bad kids where I grew up, and the program I was at for 4 years was all the ones that were really bad. And I'd have a lot of kids like that. And even a paramedic gave this to us like 2 years ago about what they would say is, I'm so sorry this is happening to you. And I think that's a really beautiful phrase.
That's a good one.
To say to kids as well when they're struggling, regardless of if we think it's ridiculous or it's actually their fault or whatever, I'm so sorry this is happening to you, helps them. Also saying I'm here, we've talked about that a lot. The other thing is just a lot of it is not what you say, and a lot of what I used to do, and I still do occasionally with like adults who are having a really hard time, or, those older kids I used to look after, I would actually just sit down with them, and I would sit down and face out the same way as them. So I wouldn't be confrontational, and I'd be down and my body language would be open, and I would say simple things that were open phrases just to know that I was there, I see them and I feel them, and that I'm going to be here as long as you need me to be. There's no rush or pressure. I'm just sitting here. And I'm subtly watching and seeing, is that helping them? Are they tensing up more? Are they finally relaxing? And I'll adjust accordingly. I genuinely feel like it's a privilege to be in those situations. And so I know not everyone will feel like that, but it's a beautiful thing to be able to do, to connect with someone when they're dysregulating, but it's a skill. It's a skill that I think I'm pretty good at, but I've had a lot of training and a lot of exposure and opportunity. So I think seeing the kid who is struggling in your house, or the patients that are paramedics, using some of those phrases, and just like you said, getting down to their level and showing that you feel safe and you can handle it is therapeutic for them and helps to connect. Don't fix it. Don't justify it. Don't ask, why did you do that? What's going on? Well, this is a consequence that should be happening because of what you did. Just connect with them. That's what all of us need in those moments, and the lesson comes after it.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Guilty of some of that.
Totally, so am I. I should be doing much better than I am with my kids, but it's something I'm working on.
This podcast is brought to you by Guiding Growing Minds, a social enterprise that aims to give all children the best opportunity to reach their potential and succeed in living rich and meaningful lives.